Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and On Fire Athletes, the platform powered by GameCoin. Okay, what up, everybody? Hope your Monday's off to an awesome start. Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. Tiger baseball gets a sweep over Missouri. We can recap that. I'll give you some of my thoughts, takeaways from the weekend as a whole. Also, let's see. March Madness is upon us. Bracket revealed. SEC gets 14 teams. That is a record, most by any conference. The LSU women's basketball team, a 3 seed. They'll play the first couple of rounds in Baton Rouge at the PMAC. And the men's team declined their NIT bid. So I know there are a lot of people asking, like, how did LSU get an NIT bid? Well, they changed the rule or the format of the bid selection process, I guess, last year, where the SEC the power leagues get 2 auto bids. So the top 2 teams in the league not to make the NCAA tournament get an auto bid to the NIT. Well, 14 of the 16 teams in the SEC this year made the NCAA tournament, meaning only 2 didn't. So those were technically the top 2 in LSU and South Carolina. So LSU and South Carolina both got NIT bids. Both have declined their NIT bids, however. So that's the right call, 100%. There's no reason at all to prolong this season for LSU basketball. So go into your offseason, do whatever you're going to do to try to make this roster capable of competing and see if Matt McMahon get it done in year 4. We'll see. Okay, y'all. Welcome aboard. Please smash that like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Appreciate everybody for being here. Let's say some good mornings, and we will rip and run here. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Ryan, good morning. Can anyone say sweep? Sweep. Yeah, what you had to do. I'll tell you, Missouri's a pretty dreadful baseball team. All their pitchers were 86 to 90. Felt very much like watching a midweek game against fill in the blank mid-major. That just was not a good baseball team. So you did what you had to do, which was sweep. I think we will learn much more about LSU this coming weekend. Someone yesterday, as we were doing the Locked on LSU post-game recap, asked me about Texas. And I hadn't looked too much into Texas up until this point in the season, very candidly. But started kind of poking around a little bit and asking some questions. And it's pretty clear Texas's frontline arms, this is going to be the best you faced so far this year. So this will be a real challenge for your offense to see who really can hit SEC pitching among the newcomers. And of course, Jim Schlossnagle is there, who was the longtime TCU coach. Y'all know A&M had him in the College World Series Championship Series last year, right when they lost to Tennessee. He took the Texas job. So he's a pitching guru. You would expect they'll pitch it. My understanding is Texas doesn't have a great bullpen. Good frontline starters, maybe not great depth in the bullpen. So this is going to be a big challenge. This will be LSU's biggest challenge so far. No doubt. Hey, Kelly Gross, good morning. Caleb Falk, good morning. Rizzy looked better for the most part. Cowan, that changeup are special. Guidry, Cowan, Evans could be leading the bullpen. Yeah. So Rizzy did look better. Rizzy came into a spot in the 5th where Connor Ware got a fly out and hit a guy. And so they brought Rizzy in and immediately got a double play ball. So that was great to see. But then Rizzy came back out in the 6th and got a 1-2-3-6, which was great to see. They went out there for the 7th and walked the first guy I faced, and they brought in DJ Primo. Walks, I know everyone talks about it. Yes, I mean, you've got to cut down on the walks. My contention to this point has been, I completely agree with you, but that's largely coming from guys that you are not necessarily going to count on. It's way more concerning when Schmidt walks 3 and Casey Evans walks a couple. You know what I mean? Because those are guys you're going to count on. Chase Shores walks 3 guys. Like that's in 3 2/3. Like, yes, because those are the types of things also for Shores that drove up his pitch count. The walks, the hit by pitch, like that's why he wasn't able to extend. He just didn't command the zone. His pitch count got high and he was done. So now as far as Cowan, I know some people have asked about Cowan going into the rotation, and I just don't see that happening for a couple of reasons, primarily. Number one, he's way too valuable for you at the bullpen because he can impact multiple games on a weekend, like he did this weekend. Like you can throw him multiple times. And especially if you're struggling to find consistent arms and consistent strike throwers in the bullpen, I want the guy in the bullpen. The other thing, too, is Cowan isn't overpowering, and he really has that one dominant pitch, which is the changeup that Caleb mentioned. So, and that's great. But good hitters in the SEC, when they see that a second or third time through the lineup, they're more apt to make an adjustment. Like you can get away with that at Wofford. I'm not sure you can get away with that when you play Tennessee and Texas and et cetera. So all that to say, Cowan out of the bullpen once through the order, I think is way more effective than Cowan starting and trying to get you through the order 2 or 3 times. Hey, Brian Wynn, good morning. Bubba, good morning. Back for the finale at the pub. Everyone have a safe and happy St. Patty's Day. I got my green on. I remembered. Who Dat Tigers? Austin Kidder, good morning. Brad David, good morning. Let's see. Go Tigers beat Texas. Do you have UNO? About UNO first. Hey, Dale's here. All right, Dale. You going to be dancing with that broom here in just a second? Took the kids to the box for the first time yesterday. They weren't too impressed with the nation's top college baseball team, but they love the playground. Austin, we all had that graduation, don't we? Where we move on. I remember the old box when they first built the playground. However, I was always way more interested in the game than the playground when we went to the box. Eli, good morning. They're going to push back on this. Trading a 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton would be a smart move. Okay, I'll bite. Why would that be a smart move? Because you're right, I'm going to push back on it. Number one, Joe Milton hasn't proven at all that he's capable of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. Number two, your roster is full of old, expensive contracts. You have to get younger and less expensive. One of my contentions all along, younger, less expensive. 3rd-round pick does that. Like you're going to have to help me understand why. Like if you were to tell me trade a 3 for someone that's a capable starter, okay, we can have the conversation. But if you're going to take a flyer on a quarterback, I'd rather you use a 3rd-round pick on a quarterback that you're going to take a flyer on, because now you got 4 years of that guy as opposed to Milton, who's already further into his rookie deal and hasn't proven he can be anything. So, and by the way, there's a literal 0% chance that anyone would give a 3 for Milton. So Milton was a 6th-round pick. There is a literal 0% chance anyone would give up a 3rd-round pick to trade for a 6th-round pick who's not even a starter. For comparison, Justin Fields, who's a former 1st-round pick, was traded to the Steelers in exchange for a 6th-round pick that could have become a 4th based on playing time. So, God bless Eli, but if you're trying to put together a case for the Saints to trade a 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton, I literally can't think of a single reason why that makes sense. So you tell me why that makes sense, and I'll listen. I'll hear you out. But that's quite honestly, on every level, one of the dumbest things anyone's ever suggested. There's not a single reason that makes sense. Hey, Wade, Einstein and Shores not making it past 5 has me concerned. Could Milam play baseball all day, any day? Dude is a stud. Milam is fun to watch. Yeah, Einstein and Shores had different issues. Einstein just didn't miss any bats. Like he only walked one. Shores struck out 5 through 3 2/3. His problem was just the inability to throw strikes. And I'll tell you, man, my concern at this point, and I think it's fair to look and say now, let me not say concern. I'm going to point the finger at Nate Yeskie. He has a great reputation as a pitching coach. And look, maybe it's pitch sequencing, maybe it's whatever dynamic they're working through, but you have this bevy of talented arms, and all of them seemingly have the same issue, which is throwing strikes. So what are we doing here, man? Like, you've got to be able to develop these guys into strike throwers, because if they're not, then you're going to have these persistent issues. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Spurge, good morning. Cody, good morning. Any update on Gavin becoming more concerning the longer he's out? Yeah, I mean, I've been told it's a back injury. I don't want to, I was sort of a little more, but I don't have it confirmed. And so I'd like to just, I'll wait until I have something more concrete, but back injury is what I understand it to be. He's working through a back injury, and you can't rush that. Rocky, good morning. Cowan's one of our best pitchers. That said, he affects the game more of the bullpen. Yes. Thomas, crank it up, Dale. Steven, when do you think Jones will find his stride? I'm sorry, when will Jones find his stride? Are you talking about Jared Jones on the LSU baseball team? Is that who you're talking about? I'd assume that's who you're talking about, is Jared Jones on the LSU baseball team. The Jared Jones that presently is hitting an even 400 with a 505 on base percentage, has 7 homers, 31 RBI. He's walked 15 times and struck out 12 in 80 at-bats. You're going to have to help me when you're asking, is Jared Jones going to hit his stride? Because Jared Jones has been freaking awesome this year. His patience, his willingness to take walks, his ability to go the other way, to hit with power all field, but also hit for average. I've used this example before, but on Saturday, he came up with the bases loaded and a tie ball game, and everyone just knew they're all expecting, he's swinging for the fences, grand slam opportunity here. First pitch, he swings out of his shoes, he fouls it off. Second pitch, he stays back behind the ball and just pokes a single to right center for 2 RBI. And now you got a 6-4 lead. That's a beautiful piece of hitting by a guy who's very controlled. I think Jared Jones started this season in stride. He's hitting 400. He's really good. I think he's been awesome. Wow, does Aggie fire their coach after 1 year? They're terrible. Y'all, and for those that don't remember the situation, so Schlossnagle has Texas A&M in the championship series. He leaves for Texas. All the players were going to enter the portal. They promote Michael Early from internally to be the head coach, who's kind of the recruiting guy, recruited all those guys. So they opened up the checkbook and they retained all those guys, and they stink. I mean, look, Jace Laviolette's a good player. Gavin Grahovac is lost for the season due to injury, but man, that is a team that has not quite put it together. Yeah, will they fire him? Depends how bad it gets. Bobby Boucher's lawnmower. Watching Shores yesterday, he worked ahead really well. Lots of 0-2-1-2 counts. Put away pitches more competitive. He said it's easy to spit on 3 balls in the dirt. It's only easy to spit on 3 balls in the dirt if you've shown an inability to throw that pitch for a strike. And the example I always give, because I think it's the best one in recent memory, was Alex Lang. Alex Lang had his hammer was incredible, and he could throw it for a strike and break it off at your knees. but he could also bounce at 58 feet and you'd swing over the top of it. But every time you notice the spin, you had to swing because he showed he could throw it for a strike. I think that's Shores's issue right now. That's the issue for a lot of these guys right now, is the inability to consistently throw strikes. Hey, Eric, good morning. The context of the basketball team's NIL spend relative to the rest of the league is insightful. How do we stack up in baseball relative to everyone else? Good question. Hang on one second. Let me go turn off Drew's sound machine, get him started a little bit. I'll come back and I'll answer that because it is a good question. All right, here you go, Dale. It's your day.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right, Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock and Roof, you call Parish. So LSU's NIL spend. Interesting. Good question. In baseball. So initially, like go back to 2020, 1, 2, 3, like at the beginning of NIL, LSU was one of, well, let me rephrase this. Nobody was spending on NIL. It's like, I will tell you, Paul Skeens didn't get some 6-figure NIL deal to come here. I don't want to say the number because it's been a few years now, and I don't know that I have the number exactly correct. Now, that's not to say when he got here and was amazing, he didn't get true, legit NIL opportunities. But the number that he got to come here from Air Force was not an impressive number. Same with Tommy White. That's a big misconception as well. Tommy White did amazing in true NIL when he was here. He had helped through a marketing firm. He did autograph signings. I know one of the people that hosted an autograph signing where it was a paid deal, and the amount of money he made in one day at an autograph signing was really impressive. So there's been that. But LSU's one of the reasons a year ago, Braden Montgomery is a great example. Braden Montgomery was a kid from Mississippi, went to Stanford. LSU wanted him terribly, and he ended up at A&M. The thought was he was going to go to Mississippi State, go home to State, and play with some of his high school friends who were at State and all that sort of stuff. And he ended up at A&M. Why? A&M broke him off $750K for 1 year. Okay. LSU ain't spending that. So this is my contention, Eric, is this. Jay Johnson has this is a deeper question, a bigger picture. I don't even know it's worth having right in the middle of the season, but Jay went out and went in the portal and added all these guys, and it created a weird problem. It's weird to say your biggest problem is you have too much talent, but the point is you have all these guys that all expect to play and are all capable because they're all kind of closely wound within each other, and Jay's trying to navigate getting all these guys playing time. I would rather go spend on 3 or 4 impact dudes. Get me a Paul Skeens, a Tommy White. You know what I mean? Braden Montgomery a year ago. Tennessee this year with Liam Doyle. Go get that impact dude. Go give me 3 of those guys. And write their name on the lineup card every day. But again, it's just different approaches how you're going to do it. I'd almost rather see them put all of their resources into 3 top tier guys, because you're going to still recruit well out of the high school ranks and all that sort of stuff. I'm talking about the portal. Then go recruit 10 guys and have to figure out how it's all going to work together. Anyway, hey, Charlie, good morning. Who dat Tigers? Joe has potential as a comp. Quinn Ewers in the third. Oh, that never mind. The question earlier about Joe Milton. Tennessee, really good. Florida, overrated. Tennessee's really good. Tennessee's the best team in the country. David Tolson, morning, Matt. Who's the projected starting pitcher against UNO? I mean, it may be a thing where they just go an inning at a time. After throwing Connor Ware twice this weekend, I find it hard to believe they're going to get him out there on Tuesday. And Jay said William Schmidt's days of pitching on the midweek are probably done. So we'll see. But they might need to get him out there, get him some confidence. But it's a good question. Not sure. When I know, I'll tell you. Good morning. Good article in Louisiana Sports. I agree with Cam. Draft Tedroy McMillan. Thanks for reading. Appreciate that. Yeah, so Ross Jackson has a piece up from yesterday where Cam Jordan on Twitter kind of vouched for the Saints picking Tedroy McMillan out of Arizona, the receiver. Hey, Eli, responded to what you said earlier about Milton. He's young, extremely talented. If you rate him higher than someone like Will Howard in the third round, why not take him? Because you would have to give up an asset to get him on a rookie deal that's not year one of the rookie deal. And I don't think you're looking to take Will Howard in round 3 anyway. And I don't know that there's a gap sufficient enough. And listen, if you want to make a trade for Joe Milton, like I can understand that conversation, but to think you're going to trade a third round pick for a backup quarterback who was a 6th round pick who's never played or showed anything is patently absurd, Eli. Like that's a ridiculous trade suggestion. And I'm not sure I would give up any asset for Joe Milton one-on-one. Truax, what's good? Rocky, our pitching leaves a little bit desired. Offense, on the other hand, is hot. The offense has to prove. The one thing we've not seen from the offense is them prove they can hit elite pitching. Like you're going to find out this weekend about Curiel, Dickinson, Hernandez, some of those guys, right? Like some of the young guys who we're going to see go through the grind of an SEC weekend for the first time because Missouri stunk. I mean, all their pitchers were 86 to 90, and that was like a midweek pitching staff that you saw this weekend. You're about to go see a legit SEC staff this weekend with Texas. Sean, I don't know what I'm going to do. Can't get over the fact that LSU doesn't want to play in the NIT. A lot of people asking me, was it the right thing? Yeah, it's the right thing to decline that. Thomas, Josh Thompson driving that Prius down later this week. So Thompson's the offensive lineman from Northwestern. As I was told from a source familiar with his situation, that he's there on the quarter system. So the 21st, this Friday, is the last day of that quarter system. So after that, he'll come down. So then he'll be participating in the second half of spring. Hey, Phil, morning, Matt. I know Hurley had the wreck. Do you see him coming back with them moving Johnson to quarterback? We also have the transfer from Mississippi State. Hurley's not at spring practice. I don't know what's going to happen with Colin Hurley. And I'll tell you candidly, some of the feedback I got last season from Hurley wasn't great. Now, he's also a 17-year-old who showed up on a college campus. There's a giant learning curve there, right? But nothing would surprise me with a quarterback if they leave. Quarterbacks don't stay. It's not Colin Hurley. It's not an LSU thing. It's an everywhere thing. Quarterbacks don't stay. Only one can play. Guys have to sort of time the market. So I mean, look at Michael Van Buren. He just played 1 year at Mississippi State and now transferred to LSU. So it wouldn't surprise me at all with Colin Hurley, with whatever he may choose to do. Nuss is going to play this year. And then, they brought in Van Buren, who's the same class as Hurley, but a year older than Hurley, or 2 years older than Hurley. And he'd add, his best case scenario is competing for the starting job in 2026. I don't know if he stays for that. Hey, Lowell, good morning. Brandon, if Jones hadn't hit his stride, I can't wait to see him. Right. Daniel, well, what up? Cuz, good morning. Have to listen to the AM now. Hey, man, come on. But listen, bro, so stream us, man. Like 1045 ESPN app. You can stream us for free in the afternoon or on YouTube. But we're here in the mornings too. Hope the fam's good, man. Trivia, what up? Good morning. Patrick Berglass, Guy Morgan. What do you think of the March Madness field? I think LSU's draw tough. Personally, wish they were in Birmingham. Haven't looked at the bracket yet. Jeremy, good morning. Making a trip to the boot after work to visit some family. Catch the game tomorrow at the box. Very good. Enjoy the day. Hopefully the weather's nice. Hey, Michael, good morning. Rocky, Matt, my 4-year-old daughter looks forward to singing along with the Parish Jingle every morning. I love it. I love it. I love it. Raising them right, Rocky. Thank you for that. Hey, Brian, good morning from Winchester, Virginia. Trey Potan, good morning. Couple more. Austin, let's see. Always a little more personal to me when LSU plays Texas. Lived in Austin for 9 years. Texas is amazing. I want to believe we're at least a little bit of them at sports. Well, you got the skins on the wall. Across the board. So, yeah. But this is a big weekend, man. You're going on the road. This will by far be the best team you face, the best arms you face. I would love to see LSU go over there and get a series win. Realistically, probably think you drop this series. But it's a great opportunity to learn about your team. Hey, Matt, Mama Scone bracket will be announced. Oh, thank you for the reminder, Matt. Yes, we got to get Mama Scone on this week for the Mama Scone bracket challenge. You better believe that. That's always a highlight this time of year. Hey, Brent, good morning. Ryan, Amanda Guidry, good morning. Okay, y'all, looks like we're done. Thanks for being here with us as always. Please smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. All of our great sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube, tagged on Facebook. Remember, Brock, they got the game day prep event coming up on May 10th. Grades 6 through 12, free physicals at Brock on Bluebonnet. So please register. Samuel Smith, 1045 ESPN Bracket Challenge. Yes. Go to 1045ESPN.com or LouisianaSports.net. If you go to the banner at the top of LouisianaSports.net, you'll see the Vex European Bracket Challenge banner at the top of the page. Click that. That's how you can enter. Grand prize, $1,000 cash. $1,000 cash. And we also are going to have prizes for the Sweet 16 and the Final Four. So even if your bracket gets busted early, you could still win Sweet 16 Final Four. So anyway, all right, I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for being there. Peace.